Hello and welcome back to the Pro Football Storying Channel. I am your host, Flynn Given. I'm going to be talking about each game this week. I'm going to go over very quickly. I actually did a video already about this, but I had issues and some reason didn't record the whole video. So again, I'm just going to do this very quickly. Wish it was uploaded a little bit earlier, but that's what happened. I had some tactical issues. Again, I would like to say if anyone wants to work with me or wants to work on this channel or wants to be a co-host or wants to just be on the channel once, I'm really willing to work with anyone wants to help, or if you got ideas even, I'm willing to try whatever at this point. Again, let's move on to the game really quick. Rams Ravens. I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for the Ravens this week. Either way, I know the Ravens dominated about 2 years ago in this matchup. I think the Rams are just the better team, even if with Stafford not playing his best football recently. I will pick the Rams to barely win that game. Next, Buffalo and the Falcons. I don't give much of a shot for Atlanta unless they can run the ball, which I don't really see them controlling this game. Buffalo has a lot to play for. I guess Atlanta does too. They're still alive. But I'm going to pick Buffalo to win this. They should win this game. They want to win the division. They need to win these next two pretty much, unless they get help from New England. Again, we'll pick Buffalo, and I will probably pick them against the spread. With the points if I was doing it with the spread. Next game, the Bears and the Giants. I'm going to pick the Bears. I actually way more faith in the Bears than the Giants right now. It's mostly because of the Giants' offense. Mike Lennon should be playing. I just don't give them much of a shot to win. They just can't score 10 points even. So even the Bears, they can score more than 10. Maybe the defense, the Giants can score once or twice, and that can maybe allow them to win, but I'm not going to pick that to happen. Chiefs, Bengals. A lot of people think this is going to be a close game. I know I picked against the Bengals last few weeks. They're better than I would have thought before the year, but I like them, and I think they're probably the best team in the division. Even though they might not be the most talented, I think Cleveland's probably a little bit more talented. But I think the Bengals coaches are actually a little bit. They put the players in better positions, and they don't always run the same scheme. They sometimes play some soft defenses. But my main thing I'm going to pick the Chiefs in this game is because in one-on-one matchups for the offensive line for the Bengals, they usually struggle when the defensive line's pretty good. And the Chiefs got Frank Clark and Chris Jones. And I could see that being the way the Chiefs slow down the Bengals offense and just make it not a shootout. So that's my thinking. Again, it could be a shootout. I don't expect Burrow to throw 500 yards like last week, though. Next game, the Raiders and Colts. Colts, we don't know who quarterback is because of COVID. Either way, if Ellinger's playing, I will barely think the Colts will win this game. It's a very close game, but I could see him losing if it's Sam Ellinger. Wentz is playing. They really should be good. They should be better than the Raiders to win, and they should win this game. The run game should be able to run all over the Raiders, even though I know last week they played pretty well defensively. I just think the Colts are a much better team. Next game, Patriots should win this. Will they cover the spread? I know it's a couple touchdowns or something like that. So that gives if you were going to go with that route, maybe, but I still think Patriots will cover. I don't give much chance for Jacksonville to score a lot, meaning New England should control this game. The defense of Patriots should get back on track and come out with the victory. Very similar thing, even though I know the Jets and the Buccaneers game is playing better. I just don't see. I don't know who's playing with the Jets receiver-wise because of COVID and injuries. So I think the Buccaneers should win, and it shouldn't be that close, honestly. Next game, very interesting game because you can go either way. Very similar teams. Quarterback-wise, very similar, even though I would pick Tannehill to be I think he's a little bit better. I just think the receiving core is probably better for the Dolphins. I mean, Julio Jones is not Julio Jones right now. And who knows if he will ever be, but he's just limping around out there. A.J. Brown's pretty good. He's better than anyone the Dolphins had, but outside of that, the Dolphins have more well-rounded core Running games are pretty similar, honestly. I would probably pick Tennessee just because the offensive line's a little bit better. Defensively, they're very similar. I think the Dolphins are slightly better, though. I'm going to pick the Dolphins. They're just a little bit more hot right now. And for whatever reason, I have a little bit more faith, even though a lot of their wins have been against some average or below average teams. Eagles, Washington. I could see Washington winning this game, but I'm going to pick the Eagles. They more likely will be in the playoffs and probably will be. And I just have not a lot of faith in from what I've seen from Washington. And I know a lot of it has been COVID players and practice squad guys, and I just think the season's kind of over for Washington. They did their best to be in position that they are right now, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles. They at least have something elite about their team right now. It's the offensive line. Gives them a chance in every game to win. Next game, very tough game. I'm gonna pick the Chargers to barely win, even though Denver's played pretty well against Chargers. They won the last game. I think just with Drew Lock playing, I think the Chargers helps them. They're home. Barely going to give them the victory, even though last week, very disappointing. They lose to the Texans. And I know COVID had some effect on that. That has an effect on every team. I'm going to go with the Chargers, even though I do not have faith in it. Next game, 49ers Texans. I don't see Davis Mills being as good this game. 49ers defense is pretty good. Quarterback, there is a quarterback issue for 49ers since Garoppolo is a little bit hurt with the thumb injury, and that does affect the quarterback a lot if you've seen recent quarterbacks with that injury. And who knows if it's Trey Lance or not. I still think they're better overall, so I'll pick them to win. Next game, I think Dallas are 5-point favorites. Dallas should win the game. They actually match up pretty well against Arizona, but I will pick Arizona. I think they're desperate. I know they've been desperate, I guess, but they're not far off. They played well in the stadium. They played this team last year. They know how to. Kyler Murray's played well in the stadium as well. He's like 7-0 or something. It doesn't really matter on Sunday. I think they can find a way. I think they're pretty desperate and they'll try some new stuff. And I think it's going to work out for them, even though I completely see how Dallas wins that game. They're playing better football right now. And they play a lot of man, and Arizona struggled against man coverage recently. Other than their screen game against it, nothing really has worked for them. Moving on, I'll barely talk about these next couple games. Saints should win. They did lose in week 2. Expected a very, very low scoring game. Maybe the Saints even play like the Jets, where it's low scoring the whole game until the very end, and then they find a way to put a couple scoring drives together and they win big. But I guess you can give Carolina a shot with the spread. It's 7 points, I believe. So you could consider Carolina, and I probably would pick Carolina with the points. I will still pick the Saints to win the game, though. Next game, I think it's going to be actually very close. I think Golf's going to play. And Seattle's playing, they play teams close. They give teams a shot. And the Lions have played a lot of close games recently. I could see either team winning. I'm going to barely pick Seattle to win this, but I don't have faith in them. And they should be like 5-point favorites or something. So I'll probably pick Detroit if I'm getting the points. Moving on, Kirk Cousins will probably not play. Well, will not play for the Vikings. Probably Sean Mannion. Could be Kellen Mond, but probably Sean Mannion. I don't see in 0-degree weather them going into Green Bay and winning this. I know they won last year in Green Bay. I know they already beat the Packers this year. I think without Thielen, without Kirk Cousins, Packers playing for a lot. I know Minnesota's playing for the playoffs. I think this is going to be it. I think their season ends this game since the Eagles play a little bit earlier. And if they win, this could be it for Minnesota. The final game Monday night, Browns-Steelers. I think Browns are a more talented team. I felt like they screwed up the first game between these teams, where Pittsburgh won 15-10, I believe. Could be Ben Roethlisberger's last home game, and I think it will be. But they always still have a shot for the division and could have another home game later on. Browns need to win this game. Play some close games recently. They have one of the most talented teams in the league. And again, I think I've stated this before. They have a losing record with one top 5 roster probably. It's bad coaching all around. I know they've had COVID stuff. I know Baker Mayfield's been injured, but it's not an excuse to have a losing record at this point of the season. Again, you lose this game, you are out. That's how they should phrase it Monday Night Football. Loser's out. Winner still has a shot next week. That will be it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. I know it was quicker than normal. I just need to get through these games. I already went through them. And of course, it didn't record other than the first 2 minutes. So I had to redo it. I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday after the Monday night game. And talk to you then. Enjoy your holidays and happy New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Happy New Year's.